True. Very true.
Okay. Eris, what you think?
So I'm gonna assume we talking about black men, right?
Yeah, always.
I
The
just don't
people
know.
of the people of the Caucasus Mountains mean nothing on this
All right, listen,
podcast.
this is my first time, so I just want to make
Yeah,
sure
no,
that
I just want to
we're
clarify. Yeah, you're right. Yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
So when it comes to the men that we're talking about, for me, black men are not beta males. Like they're not their makeup is not that of a beta male. Because to me, if that was the case, they wouldn't be hunted the way they are. You understand? Like people wouldn't be trying to take y'all out if y'all was not the ones with the power. So that's the way I look at it. Now, do you assume the power in all situations? No. Right? But for me, black men are the ultimate alpha males. It's just a matter of operating in it or not.
Okay. But even the ones that ain't taking care of their kids?
Yeah, because you have it. For me, you're born with that. Like as a black man, you are born with it. You might not be operating in it, and a lot of my sisters on here were speaking to that, like circumstantial and whatever, maybe trauma you've gone through or whatever. There's a reason why you're not walking in that. But for me, when you're born and you're black, you have the ability to step into that. Now it's your choice whether or not you want to step into it or not.
Okay.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
Interesting.
Shit like that.
Interesting. Christine, what up?
Hey. So interesting perspectives. I like to sit back and observe. But anyway, when I first heard you ask the question, it made me think like, that's relative, because for me, I'm thinking about like my experiences, the people I interact with, my circles. I feel like most of the men that I interact with are alpha males, but that also could be relative to my circle and the type of people I hang around, So I think that, yes, depending on some of the circumstances of like where people are, yes, the roles could change, but just because you're in someone's town or like with somebody's crowd and they are the leader at that time, I still don't think that means that their friends are not alpha as well. So I think for me, it's all about perspective and what you've experienced, who you've been around. So like the people I've been around, I look at them as alpha males for the most part. And I mean, I think about my father, alpha male, like leader, but not like overly aggressive with it, and I also think that being an alpha to one person might mean and look like something different from what an alpha looks like to someone else. For me, an alpha male could mean he's a strong leader. He looks out for me. He can guide me. He teaches me things. To someone else, an alpha might mean, oh, he has money and he can do X, Y, and Z, So I think that's also relative. I like the fact that Chief brought in the Webster dictionary meaning of the word. So, but I still think it's relative, like how different people look at it.
Yeah. So you believe that an alpha can follow another alpha and still be alpha in an instance?
Because if you're wise, then you're going to want to constantly be growing and learning, which that's what most alpha men would do if they were, smart.
Word. Okay. I got you. B, what you think?
Well, if we're gonna talk about circles and stuff like that, a lot of the men that I hang around, I would say portray themselves as alphas. So I would say, to answer the question, I would say no. A lot of the men that I hang around, they are leaders. Just from talking to them and hanging out with them, they're constantly giving back to their community in some way, shape, or form. They're helping the elderly. They're helping the kids at their job. They're either supervisors or the actual boss. And they're family men. They're giving back to their families. They're giving back to their communities. So I would say, to answer the question, no, based upon a lot of the men that I hang around.
Now, B, you said the word portray. Did you mean to use that word?
Okay, so no, I didn't mean to use that word. A lot of the men that I hang around, I'm just trying to find another word for portray. That's just the first word that came to my mind.
Saying they exude those qualities?
They exude. Yes.
Okay, so you saying it's just your circle, or are you more along with Eris, where black men have it in them, they just got to bring it out?
I would say there's two parts to that. Yes, it's the circle that I hang around, but there are some men that I do know is beta. Like this one guy that I work with, straight beta. Like there's no man in him, but I can see to where he could. I see great potential in him to where he can be that leader. He can be that boss. He can be that supervisor. He can get his family's affairs and issues together.
Hold on, B. You just said there's no man in the nigga, but you can see it coming out.
Well, hold on. Let me rephrase that. What I'm saying is right. Like what I'm saying is I can see to where he could one day stand up for himself. It's not in him to do it right now. He just needs someone to pull it out of him. Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, he can be a beta and not be tough. I mean, you can still stick up for yourself and still be able to. You can learn how to fist fight. I guess you could take up a class or some shit. You still be a beta.
No, I'm not talking about like anything physically. I'm just talking about standing up for yourself. If someone was to disrespect you, how would you address that issue?
Well,
so do you respect him still? When you said you know this man's character, he ain't got no man in him, but all of a sudden he want to come in and poke his chest out and be alpha. You respect him? You give him that you give him that alpha respect?
I mean, my thing is at work, I'm gonna remain professional regardless. I mean,
we recorded the episode. You was wilding at work. All right, so
I was wilding at work. What does wilding at work have to do with anything?
You said remain professional. Just slow down. Question: do you believe that women can be alpha?
No, absolutely not. There's no.
But they can.
Alpha female, that's a whole bunch of bullshit.
But not to go down that not to go down that road, but they can still stick up for themselves, right?
Absolutely.
So a beta man can still stick up for himself. Doesn't gonna make him alpha automatically.
I get that point you're trying to make.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look at Eris. Hold on, Asia. Hold on. All right, go ahead. It's quick, Asia.
It probably wouldn't turn quick. I just wanted to make. I just had a question.
Go ahead.
I really just want to know from B, what is your definition of alpha then? Because if the guy you're talking about at your job doesn't stand up for himself, that makes him a beta. So and as long Hamp's lines of questioning, if she can stand up for herself, that makes her an alpha. I'm just trying to get your understanding of what an actually alpha is.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so you said she.
No, he's saying what is an alpha? She's saying what is an alpha to you?
To me, it's a man. I gave several examples earlier, but I guess I can go back through them. But I did. You just weren't paying attention. But I can go back through them.
And then when I come off mute and I sit there and come at him, you go sit there and say I'm interrupting him. I wasn't listening. You're not making any sense. You're talking in circles. Try not to. Making any sense whatsoever. And I'm trying to make it very clear.
Asia, come on, let him go.
Audience understand.
Let him go. Go ahead, B. Just give.
I won't, because it's every episode she's always interrupting. So I won't.
She's not going to interrupt you right now. Give 7 traits.
No, I won't, because she's always interrupting. So I won't give 7 traits. I won't.
So you're just gonna not participate?
Am I gonna keep getting interrupted every single week? This is about the 4th week since I've been on the show. I'm always interrupted.
You are being a right now.
I mean, am I gonna keep getting interrupted?
No, go ahead and give the 7 traits.
Okay. All right.
Just so, and it might align us all. Go ahead.
Okay, a man, he stands up for himself. He has character. He has integrity. He has dignity. He gives back to the community. He helps the elderly. When he sees that elderly woman in the store and she needs help with something, he's willing to step in and help. A man of good morals, good values. Those to me are alphas. I said part of that earlier.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds different than traits. Those are more like actionable things that they're doing. So like when you said integrity, things like that, okay, we can kind of line those up. If I help a lady with the groceries, I don't know if that qualifies me automatically, but I know that you're saying that they maybe like have traits of chivalry or concern, things like that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.